We operate in an era saturated with capital, advanced technology, and human ambition. Yet despite this abundance, the vast majority of enterprises stagnate. Raw resources have minimal value if they cannot interface with one another. Modern commerce defaults to an inactivated universe, a state where essential infrastructure, such as legal strategy, intellectual property, and engineering, exist in isolated silos. When a founder attempts to force communication across these rigid boundaries, the operational friction is severe. This friction drains working capital and extends time to market, exhausting momentum before network effects can take hold. To maintain relevance in high-speed markets, entities must transition from these disconnected silos into integrated networks. Structural fragmentation remains the primary bottleneck preventing exponential growth. Macroeconomic data reveals that this isn't a theoretical hurdle, it's a measurable law of systemic development. A study published via Archive analyzed the capability networks of registered firms across Indian states to determine what actually drives economic output. The researchers documented rapid market formalization. The left panel shows active firms increasing at a sustained 11.2% annual rate. However, wealth distribution remains skewed. Shifting right, this strict power law distribution, with a slope of negative 0.8, proves a tiny minority dominates the financial landscape. The dominant minority is distinguished by the underlying structure of their capabilities, moving away from common fragmented services toward integrated ecosystems. Scientists use a specific metric to predict this success: economic complexity. Exponential growth occurs as a mathematical outcome of high systemic complexity. Economic complexity measures the combination of diversity, how many capabilities a system possesses, and ubiquity, how rare they are. This scatter plot illustrates a key structural law. Systems with high industrial diversity specialize in rare, complex activities. The most successful regions position themselves in this high-diversity, low-ubiquity quadrant. We see state hubs like Maharashtra, Karnataka, and Delhi clustered in this bottom right section. There is a direct financial consequence to this network structure. This graph correlates a high economic complexity index with increased per capita GDP. Accumulated capabilities multiply long-term financial output. The outliers on the right have achieved significantly higher wealth by building out these complex industrial networks. Applying these macroeconomic laws to a single company reveals a massive hurdle for any startup. If growth is driven by complexity, how can a single business build this entire capability network from scratch? The data suggests that complexity is a result of accumulated tacit knowledge, the skills and relationships that take decades to mature. For an enterprise to scale within modern timelines, it cannot wait to accumulate every node of its capability network independently. It requires an external infrastructure to provide that connectivity. Plugging into a pre-existing complex network allows a firm to borrow the structural advantages of a mature economy. Zumosun provides this specific infrastructure, functioning as a global resources engine. Zumosun operates as an interoperable infrastructure designed to transform isolated resources into an activated universe. In Phase 1, the engine identifies and connects dormant resources. Isolated inputs, legal assets, intellectual property, and capital are sorted into actionable pathways. This initial layer removes information asymmetry, allowing a business to activate its foundational components instantly. Phase 2 focuses on collaboration and shared infrastructure. Icons for tax structuring, legal compliance, and engineering merge into a single mesh network. By utilizing this shared structural integrity, an enterprise eliminates the traditional friction of building these support systems in-house. Phase 3 enables rapid asset creation. Outbound pulses represent the deployment of artificial intelligence and IP monetization, returning value to the user. Centralizing these functions prevents the creation of data silos and removes the switching penalties associated with rapid growth. This structural transition moves a firm from a fragmented state into the exponential universe and civilization framework. Zumosun serves as the physical infrastructure required to deploy economic complexity at a corporate scale. Acquiring complex market capabilities is a strictly hierarchical process. Evidence of this hierarchy exists in this ordered binary state-industry matrix. Note the characteristic triangular structure. Low-fitness entities cluster at the bottom, unable to diversify. High-fitness regions up the top possess a broad base, operating across highly sophisticated markets. Zumosun provides a business with this entire top-tier capability block from day one. Service pillars like legal, finance, tech, and IP overlay directly across this high-fitness tier. An emerging business enters the ecosystem to instantly access the full breadth of these capabilities. A pre-integrated operating system ensures structural readiness for entering complex markets. Exponential growth requires a complete, unified capability hierarchy. Economic data confirms that wealth creation is an architectural process. To bypass the fragmentation bottleneck, an enterprise must adopt an interoperable standard for its core business mechanics. When high-fitness entities operate within the same interconnected ecosystem, they scale intelligently. The global resources engine transforms isolated, dormant potential into an integrated, functioning network. Moving an enterprise from zero to infinity requires it to be hardwired into the activated universe.